Brayshaw takes a beauty.
That's it. I'm growing a beard this week.
Thank you. Time back on. That's Ruffcraft, big boy.
Gus and Gawny, episode
number 30-something at
30
this
something.
point.
As everyone knows who listens to it on Spotify, I know because it says dash then guest name.
Guest, or some people vlogcast it.
Yep, that's on YouTube.
Yep. Either way, you know who the guest is.
We have Charlie Spargo.
Pleasure to be here.
We've been pumping. Like, we don't normally do like a real like guest pump up, like who's coming on next week. We did with you.
You got one last week.
The pressure's on.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can deliver.
We had to pass up on you last week for Oscar Baker.
Yeah, very fair.
Which was fair, and Oscar was great.
Yep.
Yeah, to his credit, young Sauce got up and about and delivered for the podcast, but you've got your chance now.
I'm not going to blow it like Dogger.
Yeah.
Here, I was punctual.
You've already ticked a few boxes by being punctual, so you're out of the gates well. Spargs, I'm going to take you back 20 years. Who would have thought?
When I was driving back here from getting our Coke Zeros, I was literally expecting you to ask me this. But
So
you go on.
Paul Spargo and Mark Brayshaw played a handful of games together, 2 or 3 seasons together at North Melbourne.
Yeah.
When Mum and Dad, my parents, moved from West Australia to Victoria, they were the first couple that they went out to dinner with was Paul and Kate Spargo, and they've been friends ever since. I've known you since you were literally a fetus.
Yeah.
And here you are, not only at the Melbourne Football Club with me, but now you're on the podcast. How is that? What are the chances of that happening? I often think about that.
You think back to the backyard days at Green Parade. Is it
Green Parade's correct.
And how many of us have gone on to play AFL and then play against each other? Me, you, Andy.
Haim.
Jack
Buckley
from GWS, and Joel Crocker.
Joel Crocker was there.
My brother is probably the only one who didn't
Will.
really go on. I am Will as well.
But, it's crazy.
Great man nonetheless.
And here we are on the podcast coming full circle. So it's good to have you. It's been too long.
Yeah.
Probably it's overdue
crazy.
on our end.
Crazy to think about.
All right, we're addressing Hawthorn.
I just wanted to get one out of the way.
Yeah, that's good.
Give the context of the people. Sparks and I go way back.
Normally, our structure is we talk about the week that was.
Sure.
And we had a draw. Have you played in a draw?
Never.
Have you played in a draw?
No, never.
Yeah, no. I've
strange.
seen Melbourne Sydney at the G 2010, and Melbourne Collingwood at the G 2010. I was in the crowd for both, but wasn't getting a game.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
Probably
presuming they're
doesn't count
both draws. I hope so.
Yeah.
Gibbo can look that up now. So a draw wasn't our best game.
Weird.
Started really well.
Felt really weird in the
The
immediate
MCG with no
aftermath.
crowd's different to Marvel with no crowd.
Marvel's a lot better with no crowd.
Yeah.
It feels like you're in Harry Potter or something
Yeah.
at the G. I don't know if that was weird.
No, it's not weird at all. So half time relatively even, 3/4 time relatively even.
Look, I think the psychology of our team's just interesting. We had a really good start, and that hasn't been the case for a lot of games this year. So when we get to about quarter time, you're 4 goals up sort of thing, I felt like we brought the energy that was required, and everyone was getting involved. And you talk about no fans there, you can really hear everyone talking, and I felt like we were up and about. It was just unfortunate. I don't know. I don't have the answers. If I have the answers, then sack Goody and give me the head coaching gig, and I'll coach for the next 100 years and get paid a buckload. But
that's enough of the serious stuff. Ben McAvoy missed a set shot on goal. Great friend of ours at the podcast.
You'd have to be
McAvoy.
a friend of the podcast.
He's a border boy.
Is he really?
Yeah, is he?
Yep.
There you go.
Good man.
There you go.
Anyway, he missed because you may have been putting him off as on the way in.
I fired straight up. Yeah, so
you're talking about harvesting?
Yeah, I said, how's the harvest going? And he missed. And then after the game, we actually had maybe like a 2-minute convo after the game about how the harvest actually is going. And
I actually saw you speaking to him after the game. I saw you chuckling. I wasn't sure what it was about.
I was like, mate, I hope it's going well. And then you wandered over and we both had a laugh at your expense because you got no idea what a harvest is. He's a good fella, big boy, McAvoy. So I'd honorary friend of the podcast. But it was good. He actually said, as he was walking in, he heard me say it. And he was like thinking about actually responding, something harvest related, as he was running in. So I absolutely got into his head.
I got him one day. So he used to play for St Kilda, and
big boy
Jake Spencer played against him in St Kilda, and Jake Spencer got 3 weeks for hip and shoulder, bad hip and shoulder. Jake Spencer got 3 weeks. I played McAvoy later that year in the VFL, And as he's having a set shot, I was saying, watch out, big bad Jake Spencer's behind you.
Yep.
And he missed. I thought nothing of it, didn't talk about it. VFL back in the day used to have post-matches where you had a beer up in the change rooms after, in this room we're in right now. And he came up to me and goes, you got me good, big fella. I actually was turning around looking for big bad Jake Spencer.
Yeah, big boy.
Oh, we got to get him on.
Yeah,
we
we
got to get
do.
him on at some point.
he's a future guest, surely.
Has to be.
Is that enough talks? No one wants to talk more about the draw.
I think that it's, and you spoke about this after the game. It's maybe just to me. It seems like now that we're playing really good footy, every time we lose, we lose hard. Every time you don't win, it feels like the end of the world. But we're still in a really good position. We got 5 weeks left, and are really poised to finish the year off well. So I'm going to choose to be positive, Max.
Hopefully 9 weeks left, but
5 weeks left in the minor
season. Yep.
I was funny because you made a funny joke. The last one we'll talk about the game is you pointed out very quickly, Max, I missed a set shot and that probably would have sealed the game.
Yeah, well, it was because I kicked it to you. So, I mean, it helps my Supercoach score if it's a goal assist, let alone a score assist.
And I joked to you and said, you remember that? What's that thing that you always say? When you do sportsman's nights and they ask you about your goal kicking, how you're no good, and you said that there was a bloke in the stands that got up and moved.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me.
Actually
That's
happened.
what I said. Yeah, there was a cleaner up there.
Do you do that when you have
COVID
set shots? Do you
cleaner.
pick someone out in the crowd?
Nah, I can't focus that hard. Yeah, I know a lot of people who always try and pick something out behind the goals, but it's never worked for me.
Yeah.
Probably, is why I don't kick that straight with set shots.
Well, to be fair,
I probably should try it.
it's very hard. It's like people say you better field kick. You go put a cone and try and hit the cone. It's still pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that's
to
true.
pick a target out. My guy got up and ran to the left.
So
which
that's
is
what
the
my
issue.
guy did too. So there we go.
Well, yours didn't hook though. Yours started there.
So anyway,
Sorry,
we'll be better.
we'll talk less about that.
Sparks, you touched on your goal kicking. I won't go into that, but what I will go into is you've had a really, really good year, and I could throw a few more names in there. Nibbler, Cozzy, in that small forward brigade have been huge for our game. Look at guys like Toby Bedford, Cade Chandler, the news hound who'll be here and come later. He's going to be he's poised to come off the long run and really take some scalps. But talk to us about the year you've had and the connection as that group. You've been driving in so many parts of our game. It's been good to see.
Yeah, it's good to be in the side and get a bit of continuity. I think that helps a lot with form as a small forward. Some weeks it's you're in and out of the game, just depending on how the game's played. So it's been good to be in for the whole year. But as you touched on before, we were talking about who we're grateful for the other day, and all of the small forwards put down each other. We're a really good group because we're all competitive and we all drive each other and we're all honest. So training's always to a high level. Great bunch of blokes to be around, and Staff is an outstanding coach and person as well. So he helps us a lot and instills a lot of confidence in us. But it's a fun forward line to play in.
Sounds a bit like the Wingers Club because Lingers actually said he was really grateful for me as well.
Jimmy Jordan's taken your place in that now, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, let's not talk
You're a
about
high half forward club now.
Let's not talk
Join
about
Just doesn't
the
have that.
Starvation
You're with
corner, mate.
Spargs. You're with Spargs.
I
now.
shouldn't have brought that up. I shouldn't have brought that up. That's bad on me.
What I find interesting about that is it's almost the most competitive position on the ground. We have sort of 2 spots for small forwards. Nibbler plays a bit of a different role.
And then there's a mid there as well.
And then there's a mid there, and then so the guys who played in a scratch match actually on the weekend, I think there was 4 teams involved. Charlie Curnow and Sam Wiedemann joined up to be the sexiest forward line in history.
Well, carried by Sam Wiedemann. Let's get that
Charlie!
clear. Sam Wiedemann.
No, Charlie! The curls.
Without taking too much away from Charlie, Weedo
The listeners know,
front there.
and I know Spar's got my back here. I'm a huge Sam Wiedemann guy.
Hot ass.
Yep.
Jeez. Anyway,
competitive
for spots.
for spots,
get back to
and
it.
3 of you live together, which is
We do.
which I find baffling. If I lived with Prusy
And Dogger.
Jake Spencer and Austin Bradkey, like everyone would want to like try and trip me over, and then Pence would be
100%.
trying to trip Prusy. It'll be complex. Like, how does that work?
To be honest, like we all spend a lot of time on our own, which is a good thing. So we
And you live with Track as well. Let's get that out there. Sort of.
Track probably doesn't spend a whole lot of time there.
For a bloke who spent
He's with
millions
Bella a
on a pad.
Beautiful house. He's
Jesus,
done a great
it's
job.
Great looking house. He
Yeah,
spends
we're very lucky.
very little time there, does he?
Yeah. It is good though. Like so, Cozzy, we've all got girlfriends, so we've all sort of got our own sort of time to hang out with them and do our own thing. But Coz is a lot playing Fortnite in his room. Toby sort of
With
playing
his girlfriend.
Fortnite with him as well, and then but it's good. Like it's a great dynamic. Toby and I do a lot of cooking. Cozzy sets the table.
What's your one wood in the kitchen?
I love pasta. It's probably my favourite thing to cook. I'm enjoying cooking, seafood at the moment.
Yep.
Into my fish, laying off the red meat a bit. So
Yeah,
Why's that?
I don't know.
Sorry, you're in a meat group with.
Yeah, I probably only have like one steak a week as opposed to maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, I'm a 3 or 4 guy.
Yeah, I know you're a 3 or 4 guy. Steak and onions. I look after you.
Health reasons?
Nah, I feel like a bit cleaner and fresher eating fish.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good.
Beautiful.
Track's got me onto it.
Yeah,
Tommy
okay.
won't be happy.
Tommy's going to be devastated.
One steak a week. He's happy with it. I nailed my steak the other night as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful crust, reverse sear.
See, there's the guy. There's the steak guy that I love. I know and love.
Yeah.
So speaking of food, I'm going to keep it foodie because Spargs and I.
That's a good.
Well, you're in the culinary business.
Segue.
Sure.
Segue.
Yeah, it is.
Segue.
Great segue. You could have probably an informed opinion on this as a foodie as well.
Thanks to our sponsors, East End Wine Bar and Oliver Lock.
We've got a lot of friends that. Anyway, Subway. Spargs, you know I get Subway a lot.
We love Subway.
And friends of ours, just about the amount of time we spend there.
Well, if they listen, surely there's a free one.
Could be something.
If they're listening.
Especially Cranbourne East Subway.
Do we have
They love us. Well, I walked in there the other day.
This is the truth, by the way.
Without even saying anything, it was probably our 15th time there in the last few weeks. And without even saying anything, the girl pointed at me and said, "Footlong on rye, Old English cheese, chicken fillet." And I said yes.
It genuinely, dead set. Not even
So
a joke.
now I don't even have to do my order. I just
So what is
walk
it,
in,
just for the
sit
people,
down.
edify the people, because you're a sub. I would say you're an expert on the sub front. What do you look for? What's your favourite sub? Your perfect sub?
Well, we always talk about it is maintaining sub integrity.
Yeah, structural integrity of the
Structural
sub.
integrity of the sandwich.
Crucial.
I'm a chicken fillet man, usually. Rye bread. It looks dry, but it's not actually that dry.
Yeah. Do you
Old
toast?
English cheese, and I always toast.
Understood. And respected, by the way,
Chipotle
Yep.
or ranch, one of the two.
depending how you're feeling.
Salads.
Lettuce, capsicum, onion.
Yeah, it's my trio. Sometimes
Jalapenos
carrot,
I've been
sometimes
trying.
carrot.
Yeah, but they go overboard on the
Yeah.
carrot at Cranbourne East, so I don't get it.
You have to know your individual sub.
You do.
Sub craftsman.
It varies. It really varies.
You got a favourite?
My favourite, well, probably the rye Subway at the moment.
Understood.
I'm
What
a
do you-
chicken pieces man.
Wow,
Yep.
that's rogue.
I have that pre-game.
which is like what, and then every now and then add bacon, but
Okay.
not, old English as well.
Yeah, ranch. You're a ranch man.
No, mayo and sweet onion,
Okay.
Not a bad combo.
but lettuce, capsicum, toasted.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Got to be toasted.
everyone would have a different sub, and I just would.
That's the beauty
What
of
are
it.
you? Are you left field?
I'm wheat. I always go wheat, and then I'm
What's your meat?
look. And Sparks and I, and this is ridiculous because we go to Subway for so long. I've actually been trying different subs.
What, like steak?
So I had steak and
I
cheese.
told him to try
I
steak.
had steak and cheese the other day, which I didn't mind. It's not going to replace my favourite. I'm a chicken fillet. If I had to pick,
What was the new one the other day?
I had southern fried chicken, like a Texan chicken sub.
You haven't had the seafood mix, have you?
Never,
have
ever
decided to
will I
see-
go near the seafood mix. I
appealing.
saw a guy get it the other day and I judged him hard.
How about what's worse, Max?
It looks gross.
Getting a seafood sub
Yeah.
or and I know for a fact people do this at our club. Getting a 6-inch.
Oh, yeah, it's
I won't name names.
you
Not gonna
can't.
name
Yeah, you
names.
can't get a
No
6-inch. 6-inch doesn't fill you.
Yeah, that's
What is it? Is the
need
seafood
one-
mix worse than the fillet of fish Macca's burger?
haven't tried either.
I've
Not
tried
in
a
a
fillet
rush.
of fish.
Yeah.
Not great, but probably better than the seafood mix.
Yeah,
though.
right.
Yeah, okay. Well, Subway, we could talk about Subway all day.
All right, we're going to hold on Subway.
Sure.
I want to chat COVID.
Yeah, okay.
Not a fun
I've probably got a whack coming here.
Not a fun conversation, but I want to chat COVID. My first one to you is you told me to not worry about COVID last week.
Yep, I remember saying something
And
like
7
that.
days later, 3 states out of the 8 are in lockdown.
Yeah, it certainly seems that I missed the mark there. That was a bad take.
No crowds.
Hands up in the air. That was a
Yeah.
bad take.
Hopefully Victoria are getting on top of it. Who knows, by the end of this, when this podcast gets out,
Who knows?
it could be 0, it could be 100.
Do I try reverse psychology? We're in so much trouble as a state. We're going downhill.
But what I do want to know is I'm fascinated by border towns.
Okay. Go on. Like the one
And-
you're from.
Yeah, and I want to know, obviously it affects Albury-Wodonga because I'm presuming a lot of people work in both. But is there I get there's a rivalry between Albury-Wodonga, especially in a footy sense.
There is.
Is it kind of cool that it's sort of split up at the same time? Like, are you friends with Wodonga boys?
I am. I know back in the day, my dad used to hate Wodonga.
Paul would have, because he coached Albury Tigers.
Coach Aubrey, yeah. But yeah, back in the day, there was quite a rivalry. But I know Wodonga, without doubt, is a worse place than Albury.
Yep.
It's just boring.
So was Spargo Motors in Albury?
Lavington, which is a little suburb of Albury.
So he wouldn't have,
Sub part.
he wouldn't have sold cars to Wodonga people.
No, he would have. He did. He sold.
So they
sold
cross.
cars to
They
people
cross the
everywhere.
river.
If it's used cars, so carsales.com.
Friend of ours, Paul Spargo Motors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't
is
exist
there
anymore.
Give him a plug.
what's the issues in Albury-Wodonga at the moment? Like,
It's tough. I actually don't know what's going on at the moment.
So
but
you're allowed to cross if
You're allowed to cross. You can get travel permits, but
So if your girlfriend lived in Wodonga, you lived in Albury, you'd have to get.
yeah, but that wouldn't happen. An Albury bloke's not dating a Wodonga girl.
Yeah, it's
it
a fair
happens.
point.
It does?
My brother.
No!
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he
Did
is.
Dad let him home?
Yes.
After he heard that?
That's a tough conversation to have.
Yeah.
We got another Albury boy.
We do.
Disco.
Disco Turner.
In
Great
fact,
man.
I just want to. It's definitely Albury.
Yeah.
Albury. I've heard Albury before
Host of the
from someone.
Talking Points, Ben Gibson, who won't be on this show today, unfortunately.
Thank God.
He he interviewed Disco and said, "How's Albury going?"
Oh, that's pass.
For a man who's good with general knowledge, Kibber, I thought you'd be a bit better than that. But
Yeah.
No, that's not your best. So lockdown, continuing the lockdown theme. Where
Segueing the whole way through this.
I'm nailing my segues
Flows
today,
good.
and they're not in order here. I'm just picking. I'm ad libbing as I'm going. Spargs,
Less about you, more about Sparks.
You got a lot of free time. We all do.
Yeah.
And I know we've done this movies bit before, where we rank movies. I know you're a huge, not only movie guy, but a TV show guy. And I would like some insight as to, you got a week. What would you watch?
Jeez, that's a broad question.
Yeah, I'll just like...
Brooklyn Nine-Nine's got to be in there. You know that.
Yeah, it has to be.
Always just when I don't really want to watch something too hard, sort of drift in and out on my phone.
How many seasons, how many
Nine-Nine will
episodes
be-
are we talking? Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Eight seasons about to come out. The range from 15 to 22.
Depends on the
Each
Very
season.
Office length. Yep. I can do
Yeah,
that.
it's very similar to The Office. Gus doesn't like The Office US, but
No, I love The Office.
US.
Yeah,
You
that-
like
that-
The Office UK.
I love The Office. And then The Office US is this
Oh, okay.
terrible knockoff.
It's outstanding. You like it, Gawny,
Yeah, I'm
so.
a big Office man.
Yeah, so it's probably Brooklyn Nine-Nine or The Office, but at the moment I'm watching The Wire,
Yeah,
which
into
is a
that.
classic. Early 2000s Baltimore drug sort of wars, and it's about the police sort of like doing wiretaps. It's pretty good. It's
So-
highly rated.
I've recently just finished The Office. I like.
The knockoff one, or
Yeah, it's
Did you go all the way to the end?
Yeah, 9 seasons.
I stopped at 7.
It's a grim ninth season. Jim and Pam are almost unbearable.
Yep.
Like a babies have a warm glass of milk to go to bed. I tend to watch a comedy TV show, one
Yep.
or two episodes, gets me to bed. But
you
now,
seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Office is done. Now I'm
You'd love
torn.
it.
So I've
Brooklyn
got 3
Nine-Nine.
that have been recommended.
Okay.
I want to know
Parks
your
and Rec's
thoughts
also
of these. Well, Parks and Recs, Arrested Development, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
All 3 are really good.
What am I starting with?
They're all really good.
You could probably not go wrong. I would say if you want something, so from what you were saying in terms of having something that's really easy to watch,
Yeah.
probably Brooklyn Nine-Nine is probably, I would say, the most.
So easy to watch.
That's the hot rod guy, yeah?
Andy Samberg
Yeah.
in Lonely Island. That's spooky.
Outstanding.
Arrested Development also
And
makes
that's
me yodel.
Jason
Bateman.
Bateman.
Jason Bateman, you
Michael
get a little
Cera.
bit of David Cross in there, Michael Cera, young Michael Cera. There's
And what are we talking, Parks and Rec?
It's sort of like similar to The Office. It's about like a small local government. I don't know. I can't remember what her name is. The blonde girl, but it's funny.
of my three.
She's the
That's
one off Sisters.
that's my
movie.
If I had to rank them, I would say that's definitely third
Okay.
for mine.
Have you watched it?
I've not in totality.
It's good.
Okay. And favorite movie?
Seasons 2 to 5.
Is Superbad number one?
It'd be close
Because we quote that probably the most.
I like The Departed, but that's
The
a different
Departed.
vibe.
I
wasn't expecting that.
I like all movies.
Hey, we're
I'm
talking
versatile.
all comedy.
I'm broad.
Hey, what's your favorite?
I'm really
movie?
into the
That-
pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie.
Sparks.
Superbad's my favorite.
Superbad's up there.
Yeah, most quotable.
You have anything for him?
I've
I've got
got
loads.
Yeah, you go again.
Well, no. Because I was got Twitter. Because you guys tweet.
Yeah, we tweet.
We tweet. We
I
have
find
good back and
Charlie-
forth.
Tweeter.
I find Charlie a really interesting person to follow on Twitter. You strictly tend to tweet basketball.
Not true, but go on.
Oh, well, I'm not going to go through 400 tweets and try and find which ones you haven't, but they tend to be basketball.
And they're often about
and
you-
they're
you're a
quiet.
bandwagoner.
Mostly, don't start.
So Sparks is a Los Angeles bandwagoner. When LeBron went there,
I'm
he came.
not. I knew he was going to say this. I'm not a bandwagoner. I started going for them in about 2004. I was playing NBA Live 2001 on PlayStation 2. And the
2004?
teams that were
What year were you born?
99. I was 5.
Started
My
off for
cousin.
an American basketball team at 5.
I did. Me and my brother. Me and my brother.
So Spargs' Twitter profile says positive content only. Go Lakers. Go Crystal Palace.
Yeah, been going for Crystal Palace for a while.
You don't tweet much about Crystal Palace.
No, you
Because I
tweet-
don't know
you
enough about
tweet
soccer
nothing
to be an expert.
Yeah.
Which is, I try and stay in my fields.
Yeah, okay. So bandwagoning.
So
talk
what's
to us about
what's
that.
the what's your name for people to follow?
CE Spargo.
CE Spargo.
But I'm not worried. I've got a good following, not
Yeah.
a big following. It's
You've
a
got
loyal following.
Yeah, devoted
So
following.
I don't really care about how many followers I have. I just care about passionate followers who are ready to debate.
Yeah. But you do
topics.
what I do. You stick in your lanes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your lane's
I
basketball.
go for Crystal Palace, and I've just started following the F1, but I'm not going to tweet about that sort of stuff because I
Yeah,
have
I'm
no
reading
idea.
your tweets, mate. Every single one of them is basketball at this point.
We're
I've
not.
had some good other ones, like just funny ones.
We're not Dave Hughes, who is currently tweeting about every single thing in the world at the moment. And
I stay away from COVID.
Yeah,
I do not tweet
don't
about
go down the
COVID.
COVID wagon. That can get you down a.
Well, here's one.
A real
First
rabbit
time in
hole.
the cinnamon in ages. Boysenberry choc top, bag of Skittles, popcorn and water to wash it down for me. What's your go?
Yeah, because cinemas and food is his lane.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Okay.
He's
Well, there
staying in
you've
his
got
lane.
multiple lanes.
Um,
So do you guys cross over? You would have no crossover then in Twitter.
No, we do.
No, I respect the stats that he brings to basketball. He backs it up.
And if people want to go down and read my Twitter, I have a high hit rate. Like what I say generally happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The only issue is he has no interest in my lanes. My
Yeah.
lanes are cycling and cricket. which-
Cycling and cricket, yeah, it's not
Yeah.
my go.
Not for you.
But one day you'll tweet something and I'll
I
comment
tweeted
on
John Cena last.
it. If you tweet
last
about
night.
Kelly Olynyk,
Yeah.
then
I'll
talk.
Are you a
with
John Cena man? I tweeted about John
Yeah,
Cena.
I used to follow
You are a
WWE.
huge
I'm a
Fast
big
and
John
Furious 9 guy.
Oh, I'm a big
We're
fast
talking
nine.
WWE though. John Cena
John
returned to
Cena, made
WWE.
famous. If he doesn't get the Oscar for his portrayal of Dominic Toretto's brother,
Outstanding.
Jacob, then I don't know who will.
Best supporting actor.
That's gonna be. You should tweet that now.
No.
Get out early. Get ahead of it early.
Do you have any relation to the Spargo family that was a previous board member at this club and was the stand-in president in 2012?
I don't think so, but I believe his son. I think they're his
Sons are around your age.
Yeah, they went to Melbourne Grammar, so
Yeah.
I know them. And at some footy function, Mum and Dad got talking to. Is it Peter?
Peter.
Yeah. And Kate as well. My
Yep,
mum's also
it
named
is
Kate.
Kate.
2 Kate Spargos, which is
spooky.
just crazy because in Albury I never met another Spargo, or anywhere else for that matter.
about
And I
Wodonga?
think they sort of, in small talk, they tried to figure something out down the line.
And they
There was
couldn't.
some sort of relation. So, yeah, we'll roll with distant related, but I
So
honestly have
at
no idea.
Melbourne Grammar, you were in the same year level?
No. Jack was 2 years above me.
Geez, that would have been hard to have them for a random bystander to think they weren't related. The two
Yeah.
Spargos at Melbourne
Everyone asked me.
Yeah.
Spargo isn't exactly a common last name either. So
it's
you
not.
hear a couple of Spargos, you probably
Yeah, I had never seen it until I went to Melbourne Grammar.
Now, my last question, you might have more.
nah.
Is in your mind the footy factory Melbourne Grammar or is it Haileybury?
Haileybury College. Or Geelong. Feel free to throw
Because
Geelong.
we have Charlie Spargo, Toby Bedford, Steve May, Kyle Dunkley just left. Am I
Ed
missing
Langdon.
one? Ed Langdon. There's 5.
Yep. Or
And you have,
me, AB, Brakey,
yeah.
AB Brokey.
and
So it's 5v2.
Yep.
Well, there's no doubt at Melbourne Football Club that
Yeah, I
MGS is a
mean-
footy factory. In a broader sense, there's probably more Haileybury players
Yes.
in the AFL, but I feel like we've got our quality is high. Tom Hawkins went to Melbourne Grammar.
Yep, okay.
Stephen May, Josh.
Stephen May.
Josh Dunkley? No. Just Kyle.
No, he didn't go there. Xavier Ellis,
really?
who commentates, he went to Melbourne Grammar. Yep.
There you go.
He's
take
a
Haileybury.
premiership player. So.
I'd probably take Haileybury.
But then, yeah, I'm sure Haileybury
If
has
you're
more.
putting Xavier Ellis in your top 3,
You're in trouble.
names.
You're stretching.
He is a premiership player.
He's a multiple top premiership player.
Yeah. Good special comments guy as well.
Yeah, he's a good fella. Probably wouldn't make our top eight, but that's beside the point.
I'm having a mental blank. I'm sure there's
Yeah,
more.
yeah, yeah,
I'm sorry
totally,
for
man.
anyone who I'm having brought up.
Zach Merritt's not a bad player.
Zach Merritt. How did I forget that?
I don't know. I have no more questions. I do have a big pat on the back. Obviously, we've had this campaign that's been going for all the positive Linger stuff,
Yep.
and it's on the way. It's definitely on the way up. The fuel's been lit, and we're into outer space at this point with the momentum. But early days, the Spargos were a huge fan, huge support, and I got many a text from Kate, and giving me some positive feedback.
Directly to you.
So that good of family friends.
Yeah, right.
That's a level we're on. And I got a photo of Paul Spargo in a Positive Lingers t-shirt. Clueless. He's got no idea what it means. She's bought the t-shirt, the Positive Lingers t-shirt, just to support the cause.
Put it on him, and he's worn it to the Sydney.
He's
when we played in
worn it
Sydney.
out and about.
Does he at least think it's Melbourne apparel?
Oh, he wouldn't have any idea. He sort
you
of
just
just
think
listens
it's a
to
good
mum.
team?
Mum say, wear this. He go, all right.
So I've got to thank the Spargo family for supporting the podcast. That's all I've really got for Spargo. Thanks for coming on.
No, thank
Thanks
you
for
for having
coming
me.
on.
Pleasure.
Having a great year.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure to watch you play some seriously good footy at half forward and becoming quite a fan favourite.
He's one of my favourites. I
So
often say
I'm
that
blushing.
to you. Yeah.
I'm
hopefully we
blushing.
can keep it going and we can play our milestones together because we're both just going to be
Yeah,
game
let's
for
not
game
miss
for
a game.
game for game.
Touch wood.
Thanks for coming on. Really good guest.
Yeah, really
we
good
suspected
guest.
he would be.
Oh, yeah.
Go on.
Didn't you say Spargs had a really good insight into our sponsorships?
Yeah, so for context, we do a lot of waffling. So we
So
sit next to
much
each other
waffling.
in the lockers and waffle a fair bit. And one of the things we were talking about, I don't know how we got to this, but you got a little teaser of it last week.
Yep.
We said friends of ours, Olive on Lock, at Olive at Lock. People who listeners of the show go in if you buy like 20 scones, you get 10% off the 21st scone.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so that was the thing that when Sparks and I were talking about last week and with sponsorships, just think of all the people that we, claim to be friends.
Truck bits.
Like we've got Bailey Fritsch Electrical, buy like 30 switchboards from
You
Bailey
get your
Fritsch.
31st switchboard for 10% less.
You get 10% off your 31st. And like we think that that's something that we could actually
That's got
potentially
legs.
So like the
Who
wine
needs
bar,
31
buy 12 bottles of wine at the wine. Yeah, no one needs it. Buy 12 bottles of wine at East End Wine Bar and get 5% off your 11th glass or something. Like, that's
Langdon Coffee Merchants.
Langdon Coffee Merchants.
Buy
Buy
1,000 beans of coffee.
buy a
get-
metric ton of beans and get 20% off your 1,001st
So Angus and I have talked
We
since
think this
then.
is funny, but everyone else.
No, well, Angus and I have talked since then. We're actually interested in offering you our CFO role.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd-
And like for this,
Can I mull on it?
Yeah, obviously we don't need a
mull.
decision right now. It's a big role. CFO of probably the award-winning podcast.
Because if someone comes to the wine bar and says, I would like to take that deal up, mention on the podcast, and
We can't handle that conversation. We
spend
need someone else to.
$1,000 on wine, and of course
I've got to
you're
do the maths on
give him
whether this
10% off.
sponsorship's actually going to work out.
Yeah. But we've got a lot like squash, buy 20 pairs of shorts and get.
We'll need you to
21st
reach out
for
to
free.
Subway
Of course.
Cranbernice as well.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I think that's your first
I'll
job.
put the feelers out.
Oh, you're right. We found that way too funny, and hopefully it can get some legs, and hopefully someone comes to Olive on Lock and orders 20 scones.
And gets their 21st for free.
Yeah, they get a free 20 scone. Thanks for coming on, Sparks.
No, thanks, guys.
Thanks to our co-principal partner and podcast sponsor, Zurich Insurance. For over 100 years, they've been insuring the people and things you truly love. And just like you, they truly love footy and they truly love the D's.
All right, welcome back to Gus and Gawny. Proudly brought to you by Zurich,
Our great friends.
the great people at Zurich.
Dearest friends.
They're the people behind the T-shirts, the keep cups, and
podcast.
and everything Melbourne Football Club, really.
Just about.
Signed on for an extra 2 years. We love Zurich.
Yeah.
And Oliver Lock, a new sponsor.
Friends of ours, go there, buy 20 scones and get 10% off your 21st scone.
Haven't talked about it with Mum. I'm sure
if
she's
someone
going to be
comes in and
okay
buys
with
20
it.
scones, then she'll peel off a little 10%. What's a scone go
What
for?
she has agreed to is a slice of hedgehog for all our guests. So Spargo and our newest guest, Kate Chandler, who's probably
Who's
not a guest,
already-
he's more of a regular. They will get a slice of hedgehog.
Okay, brilliant. That's huge.
Talking about Zurich, and we're not going to mention the other sponsors like East End Wine Bar, Barbie Young and Squash, Bailey Fritsch Electrical, Clutch and Co,
Fat Nut Customs.
Fat Nut Customs. We're not going to mention them until they come to the party through our CFO, Charlie Spargo.
Absolutely. We'll have all those details sorted out. What we should do now, before we forget, is the keep cups. This is the last 10.
Last 10. No, there's 10 more after this.
There's 10 more. This is the penultimate 10. And we've got some names. So penultimate, for those who don't know, I'm looking at Max, is the second to last. So this is the second last 10 we've got. And there's some names here. And we always have a bit of fun. Emily, a friend of ours, whose name you've really had a hard time getting out. And of the 10...
How would you spell Emily, Cade?
Emily.
And if it's spelled Emili, how would you say it?
Emily.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, it certainly isn't Emily. It never was. But this list of names, which I have circled, like the ones I think you're going to have some trouble with.
Yep.
There are 7 in total of the 21st and last names.
Okay. I haven't looked at these yet, so they're all just off the
And
cuff.
I've got the numbers here. Like it's all. This is all above board. I'm not doing.
So
any
if I
dirty.
call out your name, head to melbournefc.com.au/positive lingers.
If you don't understand the name that's pronouncing, I'll be here as a reference point.
Okay.
But off you go, Max.
Winners are Jesse Orchard Moore.
Okay, that was the first one.
You'd circled that.
I thought the hyphen would get you. I also thought you might say orchid instead of orchard. But you've ticked that off. Congratulations, one.
Tom Hanslow.
Yep, you nailed that.
Shona Burns.
So that was number 2. I thought you might have said Shona.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't do that.
Sorry if it is Shona.
If it is Shona, then boy, oh boy, I'm in trouble. Here you go.
Okay.
This is a Jaffa. This one is 3 and 4. I think.
Are you French? Is what I want to know. Is it Chanel Derige or is it Channel Derige?
I've circled both first.
I think it's Chanel Derige.
I'm gonna. If it's not Chanel, if Channel or Chanel, you're listening, you can confirm or.
Hopefully you're still on the channel.
Hopefully you haven't turned off, but you've won a cup. They were 2 tough ones.
Daniel Clark, real sitter.
Easy.
There you go. Paul Munkus.
Yep. Okay. So I didn't know how you go about pronouncing Monkus, and tick that one off. Off you go.
Sue Bow Repairs. There's no S, but Sue Bow Repair. Sorry, Sue. You've probably been dealing with that your whole life.
Bow Repair was
Maybe
circled.
she is Bow Repair.
Bow Repair was circled. If you're the owner of Bow Repair, then
we'd love to get in touch.
Let's talk about sponsorship.
Kelly Shelton.
Easy.
Oh.
This is the last one. Let it be known.
Coralie Young.
It probably has to be Coralie, doesn't
Yep.
it? So I'll give you that. That was
and John Rowan. That's our
Rowan.
10.
You've won a cup. So get in contact with us. Head to melbournefc.com/positive lingers. And if we've pronounced any names wrong, please give us the feedback. We always want to get better.
All right. Gibbo Chandler. We've
Gloves
got them
are
both on.
The gloves are off.
Tell us what happened this week. Why are both of you here?
I'm not sure why he's here.
That's fair. I'll take that.
We had a Ben Gibson initiated goal kicking competition, and the winner would read the news on the podcast this week.
Okay. And judging by the fact you're here.
Yeah, I got the chocolates.
So what were you thinking, Gibbo? That's what I want to know. He's a professional footballer.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, he drilled one from the pocket and didn't really go close, and I picked it up. I was in work shoes, put it through, and I thought, oh, I've got him covered.
Yeah.
And I know that he's been wanting another crack at the news for a while, so I said, well, if you can
Spice
beat
it
me,
up.
you can have it just for a week. And yeah, we'll let the vision tell the story, but Chandler did get the win, unfortunately.
We'll play the vision.
We had 4 kicks. It was left foot snap, left foot drop punt, right foot drop punt. He's a left footer, I'm a right footer, so there was a little bit in it.
Yep.
Do you want to tell us how it went?
You kicked 1 out of 4, I kicked 3 out of 4.
Yeah. So
What did you miss?
I missed my right foot drop punt.
That's not you.
Well, he's not a right footer.
Yeah, but
is that what you mean?
No, that his right foot's clutch, especially the droppies.
it didn't look very good.
Well, Max has pulled that one out.
Says the man who's wearing a clock on his wrist.
Jeez.
The battery's been dead for 2 weeks.
Did
by
you
the way.
kick with that on?
Nah, that was
Did
off.
that affect your ball drop? Yeah.
No.
Okay.
What did affect the comp was very strong breeze. Chandler had been training in it for 2 hours. I came out 4 kicks from scratch, so a little bit
Okay,
rusty.
that's your own fault. You probably should have been doing some practicing.
preparation.
So are we just about done hearing from Gibbo for the day, or?
No, we need to touch on something with Gibbo after Chandler's news. We'll do Chandler's news first. Let's go.
Chin,
Have we got a jingle?
Chandler's the news hound. Who let the news hound out? Who?
Chandler.
There you go.
Thanks.
Who let the news hound out?
So scratch match on Sunday.
Yep.
Touched on before.
Sexiest forward
it
line.
was the hottest forward line I've ever been a part of.
Championed by Sam Weedman.
I looked behind and there was Weedo behind me, and then further in the goal square, Charlie Kerner.
Who do you
And
take? Who's your
Well,
preference?
Melksham's there as well.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I'd have to go Weedo.
Yep.
By
Say no more.
By a slim margin.
know.
And speaking of Weedo, he was spotted at Subway the other day ordering a salad, much to
Cranberry
my
East?
disgust, in Cranberry East. I know, I had the exact same reaction, but think about it. He's the hottest man on our list.
Maybe
so
we should all
potentially
try it.
he's onto something.
Far out.
We could be doing something wrong.
Well, Spargs would. If Spargs listens back, he'll probably spew up having just heard
I'll
that.
say we are potentially doing something. If he's having a salad and we're having
Just a regulation
foot-long
sub.
worth of sugared bread, my gut feel is Weedo's onto something.
Weedo's not on anything. Forget that. Keep going though. That's a good
Next
start.
thing is, Max, I'm going to throw to you on your thoughts on this. Christian Salem has openly said that he's the best table tennis player at the club.
Yeah, he's got seed 3.
Who's 1 and
Okay.
2?
So Shannon Burns is number 1.
I think he's earned that.
Comfortably.
Bailey Fritsch has got to number 2.
Wow. The lefties.
Salem 3, Hunt 4,
He'd be upset with that.
Goodwin 5, Gorn 6.
Well, I think
The ratings are in. You can judge them as much as you want. Like I think Federer's a better player than Novak, but Novak's number 1. Fed's he's number about 90 at the moment because he doesn't play. But
Just on Hunty, he's just as good on his opposite hand as what he is on his
yeah,
preferred.
and he doesn't play much. He just comes
he's
out of nowhere.
unbelievable.
what he's got the left hand.
Yeah, he switches hands.
He flogged me left-handed.
Did he really?
It's remarkable.
But what are you, 22, 23?
21.
21.
Yeah.
You'd be in the. You'd almost crack 10.
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I reckon around 9.
And I don't play very much either. Let that be known. I'm not probably not as good as Hunty, but I'm in the same vein where I just a bit of natural ability.
Marty Hawes at 7. Then I think it drops off post budge.
So I reckon I can sneak in. Anyway, great start, Newshound.
Now, Lingers was spotted today.
Where? Not at the club.
Yes, walking into the club with the beanie on, the pink beanie. So he's, I can't believe this from Lingers, but I'm so proud of him, and you would be as well.
It's a huge...
Getting around his fellow wingers, Oscar Baker and Fraser Rossman, who have both been affected by breast cancer.
Absolutely.
That's just brilliant.
It's a huge source of pride for me. I feel like that's the thing. You know, now I'm a part of the high forward club. I really miss and Lingers drives it, that, you know, really family feel of the Wingers Club, and to see him wearing that beanie, I think is also bodes well for this, because if he's into the merch stuff, then maybe, who knows? You
Nibbler and Vanders just don't have that real click at the half forward club.
It's just not the same. I'd be lying if I said it was the same. Our spiritual leader, Ed, does so much for us as a group, and, you know, just seriously, on a serious note, those two pumped them up. Fraser and Sauce from last week was an unreal.
They had a really good week. They represented the club extremely well.
If anyone didn't see Sauce on 360 last week, go and watch it, because that was remarkable. He spoke really well.
So far, so great from you.
And on the Pink Lady game, raised over $250,000.
That's good news. He's bringing the good news.
Membership record broken.
You're dropping bombs.
What's is this really new? That happened last week.
It's just over. I think it's just over 52,000. I think.
Do you reckon it was got something to do with how?
There has to be some correlation between the first time a player-led podcast
plugs it,
has a whole year together, brings in guests, all of a sudden membership records.
Newshounds.
Yeah. It's got nothing to do with us sitting on the top of the ladder for the first time in 20 years.
Reckon. Injury update. This is the last thing for me. Duck, Mitch Brown, small procedure on his foot, but he's running again. Chunk, his calf is on the mend, and I think he'll be back in main training this week.
Love that.
Bill, Bailey, Laurie will also be in the same boat.
They're great nicknames.
As
Bill,
Chunk.
Laurie.
Yep. Budge, Marty Hoare, he's back running. Tomo is not far away from running.
There you go.
Wow, that's quick.
The ACL boys, they're back. And Aaron Nitschke is putting some serious strength numbers together.
Have noticed.
Yeah, and Harmsy as well, who missed the game on the weekend due to an ear infection. He's on the mend as well.
Well, I can't remember hearing a better news segment than that.
Well, I think he's missed one. So his last news segment, I believe he dropped the news about Jake Lever having a baby.
Yeah, I wasn't
and
sure.
And Jake Lever literally
had a baby
yesterday.
Well, it's not news then, is it? Happened yesterday.
But it hasn't been released by either of the parents, and that's one thing I didn't want to invade his privacy.
Well, that didn't stop you last time.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, and for a non-cut podcast, that bit got cut.
Well, mate, don't start. This is now getting cut. This entire bit's getting cut. You've got communist dictators up high up the chain that sort all that stuff out. That was a brilliant segment from you.
That was a great news segment.
That's all from me. Thanks for having me again.
Unreal.
What were your thoughts on that?
Oh, it was pretty standard, but it's good to have him here.
Yep.
What we did want to talk about is, of course, talking points last week.
No, sorry, no one ever wanted to talk about talking points ever.
Well,
except for now. This isn't even.
I had some stuff going on my Twitter that I haven't seen before. Almost every time I went to my app, that little blue thing on the mentions was highlighted every time because something was going on at talking points.
So I must admit, I would say on my Instagram, I would have got about 30 people send me through this, and I would have had about 10 text messages from people who have my personal number, who I hold near and dear to me. Yep. And I think, first of all, says a lot about any podcast where they're defined by their guests that come on, not the actual people that are the heart and soul of the show. So that probably says that's something to say about talking points. But I can't deny Ed Langdon
went on talking points.
He went on the podcast.
Tell us how you got the elusive contract.
It was pretty simple. We just asked him. He said, "Yeah, sure."
He offered him a brand new watch.
No, he was more than happy to oblige, and the ratings. I'll be honest, it was the highest ratings talking points ever. Yeah,
that's what I was saying before.
It's obviously different. It's not really a podcast. It's just a sit-down interview.
So
it doesn't go on Spotify or anything like that. So purely website numbers. It was double the Gus and Gawny last week.
With your Weebly. Your
Weebly. That'll go on there now.
It clearly shows that you are part of this podcast, and you are. You've been here from the start, and we've worked together throughout the 18 months. I feel like you've hurt this podcast a little bit by putting that on a rival,
Chandler just nodding away.
non so successful.
You had a huge opportunity to film, like do it covertly,
Yeah.
and give it to us. It probably sums up where.
I haven't watched it, but
Sorry, I only know what happened because I got a few messages.
Did he go into Gus and Gawny at all?
Nah, it was a purely. I didn't want to step on your toes.
You should have stepped on his toes and said, "When's it happening?" You should have given him like a missed opportunity. Is
So what,
probably
you
an
just
understatement.
talked about wing?
We talked about football because
He shut
he
you down
was the
pretty
last
quick, eh?
person in the 22 that we hadn't interviewed yet for the Melbourne Channels this year, and we thought, look, it is probably time.
What's his footy chat like?
I do have a job outside of purely this podcast, and that is to actually talk to all the players in the team. So it was his turn, and he was very good.
Good
He's
footy chat?
Very mature. Yeah.
Very mature.
In depth.
He's acting like a baby. He's not coming on our show for
That's not very mature.
That's baby. That's baby
But
stuff.
even bigger development is
Go on.
today. It's just going
Bigger
up.
than him.
It's
going on your show.
That's sort of part of it, but it's just going on the Melbourne Instagram. He posed for a photo, so he's done this to the camera. He's a changed man.
I think he's changing.
It's because you're not around him anymore.
Gus had his hand on him in that photo.
We were touching. There was physical contact, and he was piecing out. I think. Look, good on you. I don't know how. Maybe we come at it from like a contractual obligation type of way, and he has to come
by
on.
the sounds of it, all we have to do is ask.
All right. Well,
Have we done that?
I'm going to go ask him after this. I'll call him on the way home.
Can we tick off ask? Have we asked?
I'll try that next time, and we'll report back next week. We have asked, by the way. This is a stupid
Just before we
idea.
go, thanks to all our guests. Any of you Survivor fans? Stefan, the man without the microphone. Unfortunately, that doesn't really work. But on Survivor, there's this character. Well, it's not a character; it's a person.
Is that the one where they
they're both the same
fight
thing.
to the death, and then the last one?
No. That's the Stone Cold movie, The Condemned. This is Survivor. This is a reality TV show, far north Queensland, because they can't go to Fiji. Anyway, there's this guy I want to talk about on there that reminds me of Cade. So he's gone into this Brain v Brawn, and he's in the Brawn team. I don't know his name, which doesn't help.
Cade's got a.
Yeah,
I would say Cade's brain.
Yeah, no, he'd be Brawn because this guy's Brawn. So he's a farmer.
Okay. You're a farmer.
And in the activities, you'd like to wear like something that you can move around in, like a bit of active wear. He wears collared shirt, belt buckle, jeans, cowboy shoes, cowboy hat. Big as anything. And he wears it in the water activities, wears it in the thing. The first challenge, they had to chop wood. Perfect for him. And they sort of looked at him going, can you chop wood? And he goes, yep. Went and nailed the chop wood. Beat the other person by like 20 seconds. They go, how'd you do that so quickly? He goes, 2020 national champs. Like it's just, that is Cade if I've ever seen it. And I want you to go on Survivor because I reckon you would dominate.
Yeah, okay. Look, I
don't think I can do Farmer Wants a Wife and Survivor in the same year.
Yeah, good point.
That's the only problem.
Leave Farmer Wants a Wife to Harry Petty, I reckon.
Oh, he would be, because he's that like half like awkward, like, oh, I do really need this show.
He would
to
actually
get
be
me a
funny
wife
to
and-
watch because
yeah.
he'd be real awkward.
I know.
He could go on Beauty and the Geek as well, potentially.
I'm going to give him that feedback tonight. He's going to hate that.
Well, Harry, if you're listening, sorry about that one. And
We're closing.
probably just about it, isn't it, for us?
It'll be a new branded show next week with Spargs, hopefully getting some new deals. Thanks to Cade, could potentially be a dual role going forward.
his last
Never know.
episode.
Nah, I feel like that was definitely, that was a step in the right direction.
That was good, but you got to remember, like, not being devil's advocate here, but I will. Gibbo does it every week. Chandler comes off once every 6 weeks, can really study, ready to go,
So what you're saying is get him on every week.
and see how he goes.
Okay.
And I doubt he would miss the Lever baby news if he was on every week. You missed it.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to hit
Invasion
every
of
ball.
privacy.
Yeah, you missed it.
You can
All right.
leave
Yeah,
some
you
through to the
missed it.
I
keeper.
missed it.
You missed it.
Oh, Tom McDonald's baby was born as well
There you go.
a few weeks ago, if the people didn't know about that.
Oh, come on.
Well, you asked for baby news.
Yeah.
He's giving you baby news.
Leo's 5 weeks old.
It's been 6 weeks since he came on.
Jess is pregnant.
Well, I nearly dropped that bomb.
Congratulations.
Thank you. All
All right,
we're
enough
done.
about baby
We're
show.
done.
This has been a good one. Thanks for listening.